Hey Chiefs Kingdom, big video on today's show because we are going to take a look at the final 53-man roster projection before cutdown day on Tuesday. This is why you subscribe, because we bring you the latest news and rumors around your Kansas City Chiefs. It's been a fun preseason, NFL regular season about to start, so subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned for more videos. I'm your host, Harrison Graham, and today's Kansas City Chiefs Report is presented by Magic Spoon. Guys, this cereal has changed my life. It's $5 off your first order with the link on screen, magicspoon.com/Chiefs. If you like cereal that tastes delicious but is actually healthy, go to Magic Spoon. Delicious flavors, magicspoon.com/Chiefs. Get $5 off. The link will be in the comments and in the description. All right, it's a couple of days away from the Chiefs' final roster projection, as all 32 NFL teams will have to trim down from 80 to 53 players. The Chiefs' preseason is obviously in the books as they finish a perfect 3-0 with a win over Minnesota on Friday night. And now you got a couple of days, if you're Andy Reid and Brett Veach, to finalize this roster. And it's going to be difficult because I said on Saturday's video that I believe there are 60-plus players worthy of making this team, but you can only pick 53 of them. So we will see which 53. I'm going to take a stab at my best roster projection. We'll see how close I end up being on Tuesday. All right, quarterback, and this one was tough for me. I'm only going to go two. Patrick Mahomes, Chad Henne. I want Shane Buechele to make this team. I wanted to put him in there, but this roster projection is based on what I think will happen, not based on what I want to happen. I wanted to keep Shane. I still think there's a chance he makes this team, but I think there's a better chance that he won't, because there's just other positions that could use more depth. He was an undrafted guy, which means there's at least a decent chance he could clear waivers and return to the practice squad. This is a bummer for me to do this, but I think they're gonna keep Chad Henne for sure. So if Buechele makes it, he's QB3. Last year the Chiefs kept two quarterbacks. I'm cutting Shane Buechele, even though it was a very tough decision. Pick a quarterback. Who would you rather keep? Type CH for Chad Henne, type SB for Shane Buechele, or type B for both. I'm okay with carrying three. I'd like to keep both those guys along with Patrick Mahomes because I think Buechele could end up being your long-term backup behind Patrick Mahomes, but get your votes in CH, SB, or, of course, type B for both. All right, let's go to the running back position now, and I think this is actually fairly cut and dry, although Darwin Thompson and Derek Gore played pretty well in the preseason. I think it's Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Darrel Williams, and Jerrick McKinnon, and Michael Burton's the fullback. Gore has been really impressive. D-Train has done some good things as well. The RB group has been competitive overall, but again, tough decisions have to be made, and to me, Darwin Thompson's had enough time. This is his third year on the team, and while he's done some good things, he's been flashy in the preseason, I just don't think he's good enough to make this group right now. So I think him and Gore get cut, and one of those guys returns on the practice squad. Maybe both, but for sure one of them. 3 backs, 1 fullback, 4 in total at the running back / fullback position. Let's go wide receiver. 6 guys make the team. 4 guys are pretty obvious: Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, Byron Pringle, and Demarcus Robinson. I think Marcus Kemp is pretty safe. I think he's wide receiver 5. And then I went Daurice Fountain at wide receiver 6. Listen, he's earned it over Cornell Powell. I think Powell still has some potential. I'm not, I don't want to punt on the rookie after just 3 or 4 months on the team, but this team's loaded, man. I keep saying it. You're going to have to make some tough decisions here. And if it's based on what these 2 guys did, I have to pick Daurice Fountain. He has made some play after play. I think he's got more special teams value. So I think Cornell Powell gets cut. Hopefully he returns to the practice squad, but if he gets scooped by another team, so be it. That's just the way things go in the NFL. Pick a wide receiver. CP for Cornell Powell. DF for Daurice Fountain. Get your votes in. I'm going Fountain. Wasn't an easy decision, but I think it's the right one. CP, DF. Let me know how you guys are feeling on this one when it comes to that final wide receiver spot. All right, tight end. And a reason I have to cut Cornell Powell is I think all 4 tight ends make the roster. The Chiefs have proven in the preseason that they can utilize several tight ends. They had a play in which Blake Bell caught a touchdown against the Vikings where all 4 were on the field at the same time. I think Jody Fortson has done enough to make this roster. Obviously, Travis Kelce, Blake Bell, Noah Gray, and then Fortson. I think all 4 make it. If not, maybe Fortson gets cut, but I think he's done enough to make the 53-man roster. Let's go to the offensive line now. 10 guys. There's 11 names up there, but Kyle Long will start the season on the PUP list. So the other 10 are your starters: Orlando Brown, Joe Thuney, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Lucas Niang. Mike Remmers is safe. He'll be your swing tackle. Nick Allergetti, I think, is a lock to make this team. Austin Blythe and LDT have been banged up in the preseason, so I think that's why you have to go 10 guys here. That way you at least have 8 healthy bodies. And then, of course, Andrew Wylie, I think, will make this team as well. And then once Kyle Long is healthy, Andy Reid, Brett Veach, they'll have to make a decision on potentially cutting one of these players to make room for Kyle Long. Now, today's show is sponsored by our good friends over at Magic Spoon. And why are they good friends? Well, because their cereal is absolutely delicious. You get high protein, 13 to 14 grams of protein per serving. Low in carbs, 0 grams of sugar. The health benefits are absolutely fantastic, and it tastes like the cereal you had as a kid growing up. I know that you guys remember when you were 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old and you were just smashing bowls of cereal. Well, as a lot of you probably know, as you get older, you can't really do that because you're going to gain the pounds. Not with Magic Spoon. 0 grams of sugar. Go to magicspoon.com/Chiefs. Get $5 off your first order. There's a ton of different flavors available. I personally have been on the cocoa train recently. It's very, very good. It's yummy. And again, 0 grams of sugar. Magicspoon.com/Chiefs. Get $5 off your first order. Link will be in the comments and in the description. All right, let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Defensive line, 9 guys for me. I've seen a lot of projections go 9 or 10. You've got your starters, obviously. Alex Okafor, Michael Dana, I think they're pretty safe. Kalen Saunders, to me, has done enough to make this team. Tershawn Wharton's a lock. And then I think Joshua Kando makes the team. Tim Ward, Damone Harris, a couple of guys that are on the roster bubble. I like Ward better than Harris. I could see one of those guys making the team and being that 10th guy. Kando might not be quite where those two guys are, but he's a rookie, so I did the opposite at receiver. I went with a guy who's done more in the preseason, but I think the gap between Fountain and Powell is bigger than the gap between Kando and Ward, for example. So 9 guys, maybe they go 10. We'll have to wait and see on Tuesday. Who will lead the Chiefs in sacks this year? Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and really let me know why it's going to be Chris Jones. And, hey, tell me how many sacks he's going to have. I told you I think the over-under is at about 12 sacks. Should be a fun year for Stone Cold Jones. We go to the linebackers now. This one's pretty simple. 5 guys: Anthony Hitchens, Willie Gay, Nick Bolton. Ben Neiman safe. Dorian O'Daniel, maybe he's closer to the bubble than we think, but Dave Tube loves him as a special teams guy. He's got great value there. I think he makes this team as your 5th linebacker. Then you're set. I think linebacker is pretty cut and dry. I don't see any other guys getting into the mix. I like Omari Cobb. I love him as a practice squad type of player. I think he'll return there. But other than that, I don't really think there's really any kind of debate at linebacker. Might be the clearest cut position on the roster when it comes to Tuesday, when the Chiefs have to trim the roster down to 53. Quick reminder, subscribe, because we are less than 300 subscribers away from 19,000. The more subs we get, the more videos we can do just for you guys. It's 100% free. I checked our YouTube analytics the other day. Over 50% of you guys aren't subscribed, and I think people are scared of that word. It's free. You don't have to put your debit card down or anything like that. Just hit that big red button, hey, and you'll never miss a video here on the channel. Go to cornerback now. This one's tricky. I think you could go 5 or 6 here. I went 6. You could go 5 and then go an extra defensive lineman, or maybe Shane Buechele makes it. But I went 6 here. L'Jarius Sneed, Charvarius Ford, and Mike Hughes. Those are your starters. Love Rashad Fenton. He's for sure going to make the team. I think DeAndre Baker's fairly safe. And then Bo Pete Keys is on the bubble. I've got him making it. I think the Chiefs still like him. They like his potential, and a couple of these guys are on 1-year contracts, so maybe next year he's a guy who's like your number 4 corner, depending on how this year plays out. I've got him making it. It's close. He could get cut, and you could add a player elsewhere, but I'm going to go 6 corners for the Kansas City Chiefs. And then safety. Like linebacker, I think this is pretty easy. 4 guys: Tyrann Mathieu, Dan Sorensen, Juan Thornhill. They're all locks. Armani Watts has been great in the preseason in coverage. I think he has 1 or 2 interceptions, and we know he's a special teams ace. He makes this team as your 4th safety, and then that's that. I don't think there's anything to really debate here other than Dan Sorensen versus Juan Thornhill, right? That's really the only debate on which guy will have a bigger impact this year, because throughout camp it's been Sorensen starting with the ones. Type DS for Dan Sorensen, JT for Juan Thornhill. Who will have the bigger impact in 2021? Go ahead and let me know. And then the specialists, I've said these, a couple other positions are the easiest. This is the easiest. We've known this since last year. Butker's your kicker, Townsend's your punter, Winchester is your long snapper. Simple as that. Hopefully the special teams unit is strong once again in 2021. So there you have it. Grade my final 53-man roster projection. Tuesday, we will have a video of when the 53-man actually comes out. So subscribe. Don't miss it. Hand me a grade, A, B, C, D, or F, and let me know how I did on my final 53-man roster projection. We'll see how many out of 53 I end up being right on.